So you remember the Asus A55VJ halftop home theater PC, right? Yeah, but problems arise. It doesn't work correctly. The DC power cut issues tries again. Or it's a power adapter that I use isn't supplying enough power, I guess? If you remember the Asus A43 SD laptop that I sold, I had to give the charger from that home theater PC because I had only one working original charger from the same brand. Oh, now I don't have an Asus power adapter for it to use, so I'm forced to use the Martech adapter that I used from my Asus Aspire 3620 video. Oops. Second of all, the Wi-Fi signal is horrible. My assumptions are the antennas. I could have swapped to different one for my parts bin, but yeah, I don't feel like I'm doing the job that I've done recently. Third, because of the hardware that was in this halftop, which in this case, Ivy Bridge platform, modern day people saw this machine as outdated. Yeah, it is dated, but it's still usable once you put Linux on it, but majority of people can't accept Linux though. Plus, Ivy Bridge platform or anything older than Skylake platform doesn't have hardware HEVC encoding and decoding support. I could have bought a new adapter or replaced the power jack for it, but well, I don't feel like throwing money for a half-functioning computer. This could be the reason why my BD PC has been replaced with something new. Hey guys, TheTechOtaku here. If you've seen the YouTube community post, I did an impulse purchase on what could possibly be the greatest deal I found on Mercari. Wait, it's another Lenovo? Yup, it is another Lenovo, but in this case, this is a ThinkCentre M715q Gen 2. You heard of Mercari, right? It's basically a Japanese eBay, but people will say that I should use a proxy if you're outside of Japan. Yes, I know. I had experiences with one proxy in mind, which is ZenMarket. You know this, right? I did try and they're doing a great job. The plus thing is that you can combine what you're purchasing in a separate listing in one puzzle, which is nice, especially if you're merch hauling. As of this May, I did buy the figurine along with the mini PC, but just to be on my safe side, I had to ship the two separately because I'm worried about the weight of the PC destroying my figurine during shipping. Enough yapping about proxies, let's get to the unboxing. Okay, so the box from ZenMarket arrived. I have no idea what kind of surprise awaits me, but we're about to find out. Arigato! Oh my god, that's a lot of packing material, and I presume it's from a Japan newspaper. Oh my god, it packs pretty well. And here we have a charger. Yup, that's definitely a neck charger. If you notice that the neck power adapter has Lenovo rectangular plug, that is because this adapter was made during Lenovo and NEC joint venture since 2011. I heard of this when I ran into a listing of a ThinkPad-based NEC laptop on Shopee, and then I did some research of it. The description says it's at least enough juice to power up the M715q, which is indeed 65 watt. I mean to say 65 watt. And here's the mini PC itself. Whew. Oh, there we go. We have a ThinkCentre right here. It's small and cute. I'm not gonna lie. Do I see any damage here? No dent so far. That seems to be pretty good shape. Though, this machine is quite bare bones with missing parts. In description, it says that it doesn't have a CPU, RAM, and SSD. I did not realize about it when I read the description, thinking that it doesn't have only RAM and SSD, but I was very wrong. There's 3 missing parts. At least the seller is honest about it, but the shipping cost from Japan to Malaysia really killed my wallet. Viewers are gonna say, "Oh, you have been scammed." Well, wait till you see the price. The reason I bought this is because 1, the hardware is new enough to support hardware HTPC encoding and decoding. 2, it's gonna replace my Asus A55VJ halftop like I said earlier. And 3, it's gonna be a fire deal if you exclude shipping costs from Japan to Malaysia. In the Mercari listing of the bare bones M715q, wanna take a guess on the price? Too slow. It's 5,000 yen, which costed me under 160 ringgit if converted. To top it all that, there's a ZenMarket fee which costed me 500 yen. I remember the first time using it had 300 yen per item in the past 2 years, but 500 yen is now the price you have to pay now. If converted from 300 yen back then, that's 9 ringgit per item. Now, if converted from 500 yen, it's 15 ringgit per item. Quite a hike though, no lie. And now, the shipping cost from Japan to Malaysia. It costs 4,200 yen, which is approximately 123 ringgit and 44 cent if converted. Because the M715q weighs 1.32 kilos. The heavier the goods are, the pricier shipping cost gets. Very yikes. Adding the 500 yen for goods and service tax, it's 4,700 yen, which costed me 138 ringgit and 13 cent. The total cost for this PC to be here in my doorstep is 10,200 yen, and if converted, it's 299 ringgit 78 cents, which is under 300 ringgit. Send help.
Please help me.
On to the tour. On the front side, we have a power button, 2 USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type A ports, which one of them is always on, and a headphone and mic jacks. There's also an intake vent and a ThinkCentre logo. Looking onto the back, there's a Lenovo rectangular power port, a sole USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type A port between the two display ports, triplet USB 2.0 ports, a headphone port, an RJ45 Ethernet port, a Wi-Fi antenna port, and an optional knockout port for display port, which in this case, the previous owner had an HDMI port installed on, which is definitely needed for me. There's a capacitor lock on it as well. I did replace the screw on the back with a thumb screw I have from the AVF MX4000 case back when I built the big speaker. Opening this mini PC is easy enough. You just undo a single screw on the back and open the clamshell by sliding to the front. And you're in. It's very clear that someone has been in here. So I did take out the heatsink out, and yup, that confirms it. It doesn't have a CPU. Seems like the seller's right. Before I test the machine up, I had to boot without the CPU and RAM, which are crucial for the machine to post. Nothing. And it clearly has some signs of life, which is good, as you can tell by my keyboard plugged into one of the USB 2.0 ports that has a keyboard symbol on it. But it doesn't turn on. Yeah, nothing, because of no CPU. But the keyboard at least has some signs of life, which is good. The theory is that if it doesn't have a CPU installed, it prevents the computer from turning on. Not just M715q Gen 2, but most modern PCs too, which can be quite infuriating for me in order to check whenever there's some power to it or not. So yeah, I need to get an AMD APU for it to get it turned on. People will say,
oh, just get a run-of-the-mill AMD Ryzen 3 1200 and be done with it.
No. This is not going to work because the non-G AMD Ryzen CPUs with AM4 socket don't have integrated graphics. So I went ahead and ordered an AMD Ryzen 3 Pro 2200GE, which is a 4-core chip, only 4 threads, which personally, I don't need hyper-threading much for a media PC. If I need to transcode stuff to convert anime that I have in the drive from AVC to HEVC, I would consider Ryzen 5 Pro 2400GE that is originally shipped with instead. Why originally shipped, you ask? I looked up the model number, and yes, the model number I have originally shipped with Ryzen 5 Pro 2400GE. Dang. Once the CPU arrived, I inspected it to ensure that there are no bend pins. Seems pretty good. Once it's all good, I went ahead and installed the 2200GE into the socket. This is my first time installing AM4 CPU, and it's been a long while since I installed PGA CPU since I messed around with Pentium 4 platform. Remember that absolute furnace from early 2000s? Alright, heatsink is all back together. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the power, and it's time to boot it up. Let's try. Did it turn on? It's on! Woo! Is this thing trying to sing a song? Yes, it did try to sing a song. Is this all it took to get the machine turned on?
Yes.
It's time to grab a RAM while I'm at it. But where can I grab a RAM? And I know, people will shout,
But you didn't order the RAM for it.
well, I had to steal one stick of RAM from my Legion 5, which is an 8GB state DDR4 3200. It can support DDR4 3200, but because this is a first generation Zen architecture, it'll cap at 2933 MHz instead. After both CPU and RAM installed, I plug it in and boot it up. Do we have pause? Oh! Good start. Not sure what BIOS key is gonna be. Oh hey, that's pretty good. Okay. We get to the BIOS and as you can see, there we go. M715q 2nd gen. Check system summary here. Ryzen 3 Pro 2200GE with 4 cores without hyper-threading. And the SATA drive is the Hitachi drive. I already put it on. This is gonna be my test drive anyways. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and boot to my Vento USB. See if it works. Oh, it does. Nice. After testing, I decided to change some settings, pop in the test drive and install Windows 10 Auto Enterprise LTSC on it. Because well, I nuked it for Linux install on my Vio halftop and yeah, it did take forever to get it to set up because as expected, it's a hard drive that is in urge of dying. I will replace that with 128GB M.2 NVMe SSD later in the video.
And using your computer for photos, music, and videos started to become possible. The original PC standard
I don't
was
think
set
it likes
in
4K
1991
60. Yeah, it was probably fine on 4K 30, but it struggles on 4K 60. But otherwise, 4K 30 is watchable on the first gen Zen. Since this M715q Gen 2 is on the old BIOS, I decided to download the new BIOS from the Lenovo website and update it that way. Kawaii. Please don't break. Please don't. What? Oh. Okay, that's a good sign. Whew. Crisis averted. So now we're at M1XKT63A. Yes, this is the latest version of the BIOS as I'm publishing this video. Because I had to upgrade my Legion 5 to 32GB of RAM, I now have 2 pair of 8GB DDR4 3200 RAM, which were from a different brand. I also bought a used 128GB XK Hynix M.2 2230 NVMe SSD, a 2230 to 2280 adapter, along with the screw mounts for the drive caddy to complete the machine. Oh, can't forget the Wi-Fi antenna. I have to reuse my 1TB HGST drive from my old home theater PC. Prior to building this, the mounts are not arrived in time as I'm editing this video. But anyway, let's get the build started. No joke, this tiny PC is pretty easy to work with. Just need a tiny raccoon-like fingers like mine to do this job because it's quite cramped. Drive mounting on the other hand, I had to find a temporary solution until the proper drive mounts arrive. For now, I used the rubber stuff I cut off from the door seal thingy to get the drive seated flat. Storage drive, well, we'll explain later on in the video. We'll update that on my YouTube community post as well as my Blue Sky, link down below. Smoke test.
"12 seconds later.
Why is this thing stuck on the screen? I don't understand. Alright, let me check system summary and there we go. M.2 drive is showing up. Nice. 16GB of RAM, 3200 MHz. Time of day should be correct. It was 2 minutes off, but that's fine. Here's stuff I did here. Frame buffer size should be 512 megs. So I did disable the internal speaker because apparently I ripped off the internal speaker cable from the speaker itself, so I decided to leave it disabled, so it's totally unnecessary for that. I left the onboard audio controller on because, yeah, that's all I have to do. Nothing much to change besides CompuTrace. And yeah, it's enabled by default, but I disabled it. But at least it's not activated, so that's a good thing. Windows UEFI firmware update, I disabled that because why would I need a UEFI BIOS update from
Windows kurwa update.
I seen worse story about people breaking BIOS via Windows update, so you know what? It's time to boot to... Wait, I forgot to plug it in. It did detect the Windows Boot Manager even though it's empty. I guess it didn't format correctly, so yeah, time to pop in the Vento USB and clean install Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC. Here we go. Vento USB. Go to normal mode. Okay, it's time to do the this part method to nuke my SSD. There we go. Install Windows 11. Everything will be deleted. Yup. Okay, I don't have a product key. IoT Enterprise LTSC. That's what I want to choose. Accept. That should be all good. Install Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC. Keep nothing. Yeah, nobody cares. Install. And it begins. Installing Windows went smoothly without a hitch. As you can see, without the internet, I can create a local account without fiddling with registry in order to bypass Microsoft account requirements. Great! So I went ahead and installed updates and programs off camera, put my 1TB HGST drive onto the M715q with temporary mounting methods, and the new media PC is almost ready to go. Boy, it's been like a couple of hours since I tried and set up this ThinkCentre M715q Gen 2 to use as my media PC. What I think of the M715q? I actually like the form factor of the M715q Gen 2 because it does feel like you're carrying an Android box, but it's actually not. It's a Windows PC on the inside. I feel like this small PC like this is already better than buying an illegal TV box that you see online that already has malware bundle on it. But on Windows PC, you already have a lot of freedom to do whatever you want on this machine. This machine is not just great for a media PC, at least for me in my opinion. You can also use this as a server, which is pretty neat. You can also use that as a streaming box or whatever you want. The integrated AMD Vega graphics that was on the CPU, depending on what CPU you go for the M750Q Gen 2, is actually much more capable than the Intel HD graphics, which is...
Oh my god!
This video was recorded before the Wi-Fi antenna and hard drive screw mounts for it not arrived yet. Wait, before stuff not arrive? What is wrong with my English right now? As I'm editing this video, these three hardware stuff arrived for M750Q and yeah, no more jank. Back to the video. So, I'm gonna go ahead and open the machine up. Wait, how am I supposed to open this? This is a pain in the butt. Oh yeah, I struggle with one hand. So as you can see, I did put some rubber things I have in my house and look at that. This is actually ghetto, I swear. But otherwise, it'll hold up just fine. It's fine. You do have the hard drive screws that came from my case, from my AVF MX4000 case. It's nice to have spares. And the RAM, the issue is you have to take out the 2.5-inch drive to get access to the RAM. That's the caveat that you're gonna deal with this mini PC like this. But not just M715Q Gen 2s, but any PC that is about this size. I'm gonna close this up and screw it back in. Hopefully I don't insert it in the wrong hole, which I apparently did. Anyway, I got it all hooked up to the NAC power brick and the DisplayPort cable to my monitor here. And as you can see, my laptop's missing because my laptop doesn't have a RAM. And I do have my own wireless mouse and my wired keyboard hooked up. For now at least. I don't have a media center set up right now. Yeah, once I get a new TV for it, the M750Q is ready to be used as a media PC. So, let's go ahead and turn it on. It boots really quick because it does have an SSD, but the pose is doing a weird stuff again. But it happens on numerous amount of times on certain occasions. Oh, there you go. Now we're into the lock screen and we have a familiar wallpaper here. So let me go ahead and log me in. And there we go, we're into Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC. And as you can see, it automatically opens Taiga. So what Taiga is, it's the anime list program that tracks your anime list when you watch anime via VLC or any kind of media player you want, or you stream it from YouTube. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and check out the system properties. System is over here. So as you can see, we have Windows 11 IoT Enterprise LTSC. We'll have a ThinkCentre M715q Gen 2 or second gen, whatever we want to call. We'll have an AMD Ryzen 3 Pro 2200GE with integrated Radeon Vega graphics, which in this case it's a Radeon Vega 8 graphics. Clock at 3.2 GHz with quad core with only 4 threads. No hyperthreading at all. On the right side, it does have a 16 gigs of RAM, but it says 14.9 gig usable because the iGPU was shared with the RAM itself. And the computer name is obviously Lenovo MediaBox. Lenovo.
Please help me.
Anyway, I'm gonna close that out of here and check when we're here. So see, 24H2, build 26100 on the latest update. And just registered to an idle of Momojam, of course. Speaking of which, I'm gonna take a look at device manager real quick and see what else I have missing here. But there are some things that might be missing, like the multimedia controller or PCI encryption, decryption controller, and SM bus controller. So display adapters, integrated Vega 8 graphics. Disk drives, of course, I have SK Hynix 128GB NVMe SSD. It's a M.2 2230. I don't have an adapter for it, but at least it works on the M715Q Gen 2. And the second drive is the HGST drive, same drive as my old home theater PC. I forgot to mention that it does have a Qualcomm Atheros QCA9377 Wi-Fi 802.11ac card, plus a Realtek Ethernet controller. Let me take a look at the sound. We have a Realtek audio. Nothing spectacular here, but if you look at the processors, yep, it's only 4 threads. Anyhow, here's a fun fact. You can open Windows Media Center using a Windows shortcut combination. All you do is to press Windows key, Alt and Enter. So right now I'm on my desktop. So I hit these 3 keys. If I can hit Enter key with my phone, that should open up Windows Media Center. And there we go. Oh, my phone vibrated. Okay. But there you go. Windows Media Center.
TheTechOtaku is here. Today I'm going to buy the 16 Gen 2
Oh god, watch the rest later on, but I'm doing a video about my media PC. Yeah, this guy making me. Okay, we're in the Windows Media Center, and the issue is we do not have HTPC playback out of the box, but if I don't have K-Lite codec pack, it just kicks me back to the menu thingamabob here. But with K-Lite codec pack, as you can see, we have HTPC file, and let me go ahead and resume that. It works.
Shindago.
Anyway, this Media Center is from Windows 8.1. It still recognizes as Windows 8.1, version 6.3, build 9600. But my host is on Windows 11. Windows Media Center is working on Windows 11, so yay! Because this is a Media Center from Windows 8.1, Pro with Media Center, we don't get the Start Windows Media Center when Windows starts up or whatever that is. Yeah, my plan is to put a Windows 7 build 6956 Media Center. I'll demonstrate that on screen right now. It does have a Vista Media Center startup, but with Windows 7 Media Center UI. Anyway, that's enough of Windows Media Center, and I'm gonna go ahead and close that. So I'm gonna check Crystal Disk info because these 2 drives are used drives, so I expect some things to fail over time. So yeah. Oh god, that's loud! Yeah, doukana. We have a SK Hynix drive that is used. It does have 90% health, which is good, and the power on count is oh no, oh no. We have power on hours. As you can see, we have 1,527 hours, which is at about 2 months now. And now for the enemy drive, it says good, so yeah, not bad. Let's have a look at the CPU Z. Yeah, again, Ryzen 3 Pro 2200GE. And the TDP is 35 watt. Yeah, 4 megabytes L3 cache. RAM 16 gigabytes. Speed. We have Samsung RAM. And of course, Kingston RAM. 4K playback is very questionable. By questionable, I mean 4K 30 is playable. 4K 60 is... yeah, this little beast can only do 1080p, so yeah. 1440p should work well, but I guess I have to say that the ThinkCentre M715q Gen 2 is ready to become my new media PC, but not ready to prime as of yet because I need a new TV for it. That's gonna be a wrap up for a video of my ThinkCentre M715q Gen 2. First things first, I'm gonna shut this machine down. Anyway, that's gonna be a wrap up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to like this video, share it to your friends and family, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you get notified for more content just like this one. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, be sure to check out my Ko-fi and Patreon at the links in the description. I don't know why I'm stumbled with words. But anyway, I'll catch you all next time. TheTechOtaku signing out. Peace.